$100 a day or $3,000 a month. How would that make you feel, huh? With your current audience. Now, obviously, I don't know the size of your audience right now, but there's different strategies on how to get to that $100 a day threshold because it's sort of enough to, make a difference. That's how it was for me. I remember back in the days, $100 a day, just thinking about that was the ultimate goal that I've had starting my whole journey. First on Instagram, then here on YouTube. And actually it felt pretty unattainable making this amount every single day, or, broken down to the month, $3,000 a month just from your audience, just from thin air, if you think about it. And it actually did take a while until I figured out how to get to that, let's say $3,000 with my social media. But actually, because it took me a while, you could actually skip the line and learn from my mistakes. Because today, I'll show you a total no bullshit way without fancy stuff. Let's just sit down, let's just talk about it, how you can get there. Because honestly, I just want you to succeed. Yeah, because I remember how it was for me. And I honestly want the same thing for you. Wherever you are right now on your journey, whether you grow a personal brand, a theme page, or basically any other page, the amount of money that you can make basically depends on more or less 3 variables that you just need to dial in correctly. And we're gonna break all of them down here in a second, but basically A is the traffic that you can get, B is the conversion rate, and C is what I call the ticket price. And at the end, you can see your potential take home. In our case, let's just say $3,000 at the end of the day. Now, let's roll this whole thing up from the back, starting with what I call the ticket price, which is basically whatever it is that you sell, right? Some of you guys might be like, well, I don't want to sell anything, Dominic. I made a poll recently, and lots of you guys were like, yeah, I want to have brand deals, for example. But basically, if you have a brand deal, you obviously sell your reach. Same thing with the Instagram bonus program. You sell your reach that you can generate for the platform or for some other partner, which, by the way, the Instagram bonus program just got a huge cut recently, and right now you get way less for your views than you got before. With that being said, these 2 things are generally the way that people think money is being made as a creator. The downsides of that is obviously that you need a lot of followers and reach to make substantial money. And you actually need a lot of followers and reach to make 3K on the bonus program or as for brand deals. Obviously, always good if you have a bigger audience, but obviously you can also sell other stuff like digital products, for example, or presets, which by the way won't make you rich as well, but that's part for another video. I, for example, started out as a web development service, creating websites for people, and then Instagram management services back in the day. I think I started out managing Instagram accounts for $50 a month. Don't do that. Then slowly went up to $150 per ticket. Just my journey. It's way too low, generally speaking, but yeah. Or you can also sell your knowledge in the form of, for example, an online course, or promote other people's products or courses in the form of affiliate marketing. Basically there's a million possibilities. I have a video breaking down some of them, actually a little bit deeper. But let's go back to our formula. Let's talk about A, variable A, the traffic. And here's the thing. It's not necessarily the amount of followers that you have. I'm talking about traffic, because you probably noticed your reach can go up quite a lot, fluctuate quite a lot. It can be a lot lower than your followers, for example, or it can be a lot higher. I have people in the black file, for example, getting crazy amounts of reach by having their reels blow up, for example, or with the new suggested home feed thing. But they, for example, just have 2,400 followers, but their reach being 12 million and stuff like this. But then there's people who come to me who are like, yeah, I have 50,000 followers, but I can't sell anything. Why? Because they don't reach half of that. Why? Because they don't even reach 10% of that. So obviously what really matters is the actual amount of people interacting with you each month. So don't take your follower number as your primary metric, right? It doesn't really matter anymore that much. It's not quite like on YouTube yet, where basically the amount of subscribers don't really matter at all in the grand scheme of things, but we're slowly getting there. Good. So we have the last part of the formula and the first part of the formula. Let's talk about B. I hope that was B, the conversion rate. And that is something people really neglect, and then they're wondering why they can't make money with their Instagram, with their audience, why nothing works. Me included, by the way, when I first started out with my whole social media trials, because it was just a big trial. Actually still is, but yeah. So the conversion rate is basically how many people of part A of the formula, actually do whatever you want them to in C, buying whatever it is that you have to sell, or whatever it is. And there's actually a wide range that you can have of this conversion rate, which basically depends on how good of a community you have created here on the platform. Do people trust you actually based on your content, right? Content always being the most important part. Do you have the right products for your audience and your demographics? Another thing that people don't put any thought into. They're like, yeah, lots of people sell presets, so let's just sell presets as well, because everybody's doing that, right? And then you're gonna be like, well, I don't make nearly as much as I thought I would. And yeah, there's actually a reason. You need to do some research. What are the right things that your audience needs and wants, because nowadays there's always things that people just want to give somebody their money, right, for. And by far the biggest factor deciding on your conversion rate is actually, like we said, the content itself. And this is where I see so many creators go wrong, right? Me included, like I said. They start to see growth, for example, with a certain type of content, for example, a certain type of reel or a certain type of carousel. They see the green numbers, obviously, and then they try to ride that wave as much as possible, creating content just like this. The green numbers go up, you sort of feel good, and you grow. So what's the matter with that, Dominik?
I thought you always say analyze what content performs best and then create more of that.
Right? The thing is, though, just creating growth content will make your audience relationship suffer by a lot. And suddenly you're going to be at a point like the influencer who couldn't even sell 14 t-shirts, right? Total mismatch between audience and the creator. By the way, talking about t-shirts, yes, I'm already on it finally with the hoodie run. I'm not wearing it right now. In fact, I don't even know where my prototype is at. It will be limited. It will come out pretty soon. And I have some other cool special things coming on, with that whole limited FU hoodie run. But more on that a little bit later, my friends. So that begs the question, what other content should you create to get a better conversion rate, aka a better relationship with your audience? And here's the thing, you probably might have thought about it if you're one of the smart kids. Stories, right? Instagram stories, big time. Because they are really unfiltered and as raw as they can get. Now, I see it a lot. Some people polish their stories and film them with real cameras and cut them and make them all fancy and high production quality. I used to do that actually as well years ago, but that's not how they should be. And telling you a little bit behind my brand, if you will, stories are a big part of why my YouTube community, and now it's starting to get full circle, here is pretty close, if you ask me. We have a pretty good conversion rate as well. Sort of topic for another video, but my personal Instagram, heyDominik, for the past 2 years basically only consisted of me creating stories and sort of showing a behind the scenes look into my brand. And as a result of that, whenever I launch products like recently my IG Black File, stories are actually a huge driving factor of sales, aka getting all my conversion rate up. Of course, there's more things you could do to get that up. For example, taking people off platform, onto an email list to nurture them with trust building content, or creating reels that actually might not blow up and go viral, but that make your existing audience actually care for you a lot more. Also getting that conversion rate up. I'm gonna show you why this is actually pretty important in a second. So, tying this whole thing back to our example of $100 a day, in our formula. Let's say you have a reach of 2,000 people. Whatever your followers are, let's say you constantly reach 2,000 people at the end of the month, and you want to be here with, $3,000. What are the variables? First of all, the ticket price. Obviously you should know better than I do for your audience, but let's just say you create a mini course. Just throwing some random thing out there, a mini course for $100 that actually helps people with a specific problem in your niche. I did the exact same thing, by the way, years ago, before this whole Instagram thing as well. So to get to that $3,000 at the end of the month, you need to sell 30 courses, or 1.5% of the people that you reach, right? Sounds pretty doable. Now, if you double that conversion rate by having content in there that strengthens the relationship with your audience, you suddenly, instead of $3,000, make $6,000 with the same amount of people reached. Even better, I guess. And I hope you understand the importance of this whole thing. And if you really want to get a step-by-step tutorial on how to get even more, than those $6,000 with your Instagram, here's a video where I actually break down step-by-step on how to make $10,000 with your Instagram in 2022.